You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Damasiewicz.
Now it's time for your favorite part of the show, Justin.
We're going to stump Daniel. And for the first part of Stump Daniel, we're going to stay in baseball.
Okay. We went NBA last 2 weeks.
There's some NBA here too, but the first part of it's going to be baseball.
Okay, so it's going to be confusing.
Yeah. So, well, no, it's not actually. The two things kind of go together. So we're going to talk about
super easy.
We're going to have some questions about the 50-40-90 club, which we've talked about on the show, is the group of players in the NBA history who have shot 40% from 3-point, 50% from the field, and 90% on free throws for an entire season. It's an elite group of mostly really great players. But there's a club in baseball that I saw some trivia just pop up this week that I thought was really interesting.
Uh-oh.
It's the 40-40 club.
Okay.
I feel like you might be able to name every single player in the 40-40 club.
Really?
Do you know how many there are?
I don't.
There are 4.
Wow.
That's 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases in a single season. There's been a buttload of guys who have come really close, but the amount of guys who have actually done it is a really, really short list.
Wow.
Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Damasiewicz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Damasiewicz today at 360-612-3991 or visit damasiewiczlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com. So could you name the 4 guys that are in the 40-40 club?
Oh, Barry Bonds?
Barry Bonds is, in 1996, 42 home runs and 40 stolen bases while playing for the San Francisco Giants.
It's hard because stolen bases are so much less a thing now.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say... But I'm not sure if he's ever stolen that many bases. So maybe I'll save that.
Okay. There is one that happened before Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds in 1996 was the second one to do it.
Yeah, he was only the second one?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to give you a little hint.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you need it or not. But would it help to know that at least 3 of these guys are heavily linked to steroids?
Okay.
I don't know about the 4th one. But
Okay.
I know for a fact that 3 of these guys are heavily linked to steroids and human growth hormones.
Did Alex Rodriguez do it?
Alex Rodriguez did.
Okay.
In 1998, with the Seattle Mariners, as a matter of fact, had 42 home runs and 46 stolen bases.
That's crazy. Linked to steroids.
If you don't get the first guy that did it, you're going to feel dumb afterwards.
The first guy?
Yeah.
40 home runs is a lot of home runs. Did Mike Trout do it? That's the one that I was
No,
kinda
he did
thinking.
not.
Okay.
He has not done it.
I
If
mean,
you want, I can give you a hint, but then I have to subtract a point.
I'll
I'll tell you what team and year the player played for the team and what year he played for the team. That did
Okay.
it. 1988, Oakland Athletics. A guy linked to steroids, heavily linked to steroids.
Did Jose Canseco
Jose
do it?
Canseco, 42 home runs, 40 stolen bases, was the first member of the 40-40 club.
Wow, I had no idea that he was fast.
Yes, he was, because of all the steroids.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
All right, well, I've already guessed that's 4, so who was the other guy?
The trivia, this is the interesting one. This is what came out. I don't remember this at all. But in 2006, as a member of the Washington Nationals, Alfonso Soriano had 46 home runs and 41 stolen bases, which is interesting because I remember when I was a teenager, so this would have had to been around early 2000s,
Yeah.
maybe 2002-ish. Soriano and Vladimir Guerrero were both 1 stat away from doing it.
Wow.
I think Guerrero was 1 stolen base short and Soriano was 1 home run short, maybe. Also, in 2019, a Braves outfielder was 3 stolen bases short. Do you know who that was?
Acuna?
Acuna, yeah.
Yeah,
41
or
home
Acuna,
runs.
yeah.
Yep. Ronald Acuna Jr. hit 41 home runs and stole 37 bases in 2019.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's super, because like I said, stolen bases aren't as much of a thing now.
Right. And they're definitely not consistent. Like, there
Yeah.
could be a guy who comes out and steals a buttload of bases one year and then doesn't really steal that many, or he's out of the league the next year. It's interesting, like, when I think about this, too, I thought one guy that might come up was Ricky Henderson, but I realized he never really quite had the power,
I almost guessed him, but then I was like, there's no way he hit that many home runs.
Have you ever heard the story that Harold Reynolds tells about Ricky Henderson when he won the stolen base title? So there was a year, Ricky Henderson was like, he stole a ridiculous amount of bases.
It's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And there was one year where Ricky was hurt, and Harold Reynolds, playing for the Mariners, stole, I want to say it was like 65 bases or whatever. So Ricky calls him, and Ricky always refers to himself in the third person.
Of course.
So Harold's like, "Hey, Ricky, what's up?" And Ricky's like, "Well, I just wanted to say you got 65 stolen bases, huh? Won the stolen bases title, huh?" And Harold Reynolds is thinking he's calling to congratulate me.
Yeah.
And Ricky Henderson says, "Ricky would have had 100," and then hangs up the phone. It's a great story. Okay.
So that was part one.
And you did pretty well. You got Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez with very little prompting. Jose Canseco with a hint. So let's say, since the points don't matter, you scored unicorn amount of points in that one.
Woohoo!
Okay. Now,
Wait, if the points don't matter, how am I going to know if I won or lost?
I will just tell you lose.
Okay.
At the end.
That
All right.
That's consistent.
50, 40, 90. There are 8 players in the history of the NBA who have done it. Only two who have done it in multiple seasons. I'll give you 8 shots. How many of these players can you name?
Larry Bird?
Larry Bird is 1.
Reggie Miller?
Reggie Miller's 2. That's a good one. I think you get that one.
Steph Curry?
Steph Curry also 3 for 3 so far.
Klay Thompson?
Not Klay Thompson. So that's 3 out of 4 correct.
Oh, you just told me one.
I did.
Oh.
Remember, it's the guy who you liked in college and then claimed you didn't know later.
He clearly doesn't know him.
Was it Joe Harris?
Not Joe Harris. So you're 3 out of 5. There are
It was
some
the other guy.
There are some recent players in this though.
Oh boy. Let's see. Kyle Korver?
Not Corver.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he ever shot enough 2-pointers to make 50% from the field.
That makes sense.
So you're 3 for 6. You got 2 more guesses. You started out really strong.
I did. Damian Lillard?
Not Dame.
Okay, I would've felt awful
That's
if-
another one where he's probably not quite that efficient on 3-pointers, but he might be close. But his 2-point field goal percentage won't be.
Yeah.
It won't be there. All right, you got one more guess. See if you can get half of them. You got 3 right off the bat.
What was that guy's name? You told me his name 2 weeks ago.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, but also I've brought him up several times over the last few months.
Doesn't he have kind of a weird name too? Like, there's no way I'm just gonna pull it out. There's no way. So I'm just gonna try and think of somebody else who's a really good shooter. Let's go with Rick Barry. Wait,
Sorry.
were there even 3-pointers when he played?
I don't know when he played, but the 3-pointer was introduced into the NBA in '79.
So probably not.
So yeah, but that's your 8 guesses. Started out strong, got 3.
I got 3 in a row, right?
There is at least one name on this list you're gonna feel like a major doofus for not getting. Okay, so I'm gonna.
Oh, Ray Allen.
No, it's not Ray
Oh,
Allen.
okay. Really? He didn't do it?
Again, I think probably another guy that maybe the field goal percentage wasn't quite good enough. Definitely could have got it on free throws and threes, though. 90% on free throws is really good.
Yes.
Obviously. Okay, the first guy to do it was Larry Bird.
Okay.
He did it 2 seasons in a row, 86 and 87.
Wow.
The next guy was Mark Price, which I think was probably the hardest name on the list. You got Reggie Miller, which I personally thought that was really impressive. You got Reggie Miller. He did that in 93. Here's the one I can't believe you missed.
Oh, no.
Steve Nash
Oh.
is not only the only guy to do it 4 times, but also one of your favorite players. And also, I have mentioned over these microphones on multiple occasions that Steve Nash was a 50, 40, 90 guy. Here's the next one.
I didn't get Steve Nash.
Yeah.
And the last time he was one of the...
In 2006, Dirk Nowitzki.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
In 2012, Kevin Durant.
Oh, okay.
And here's the one you were
That's
trying to
another
come
one I
up with.
should have guessed, but...
Here's the one you were trying to come up with. 2018, Malcolm Brogdon.
Brogdon.
Yes. Now, I did not anticipate that you weren't going to get Steve Nash here. Because we're going to close out this segment with a bunch of Steve Nash trivia. Not trivia. I'm just going to tell you some really amazing facts about Steve Nash.
You should ask them.
But I thought you were going to get Steve Nash right.
Why do I always forget
And
Steve
then it was
Nash?
going to say, why everybody always forgets Steve Nash. Steve Nash forgot about Steve Nash. Did you know many years after he retired, the way Steve Nash has watched how the NBA has changed? He has done multiple interviews where he says, I really should have shot more. I should have shot 20 times a game. He mostly shot around 10 times a game.
That's
the
insane.
highest shots per game average of his whole career was 13.6.
Wow.
And he had a coach when he played for Dallas, I think it was Nelson, who once threatened him, if you don't shoot at least 10 times a game, I'm going to fine you. Because his coach believed so much that he needed to shoot more, but his nature was as a facilitator. He wanted to get his teammates involved in the game. But one famous quote I remember that I don't remember where it came from was, it feels like every time he shoots, it goes in.
Yeah.
Like, he literally just was incredible shooting the ball. His career averages are just shy of 50, 40, 90.
Wow.
For his career, 49% from the field, 43% on three-pointers, and 90 from the line.
Wow.
And by
43%?
Yes. And by far, of all the 50, 40, 90 guys, by far he's the closest for career stats. Also, here's an interesting thing. He did it 4 times. It was 05, 07, 08, 09. In 2006, he shot 89.9% from the free throw line. If he had made one more free throw, he would have done it 5 years in a row.
Wow.
Just a little more, just to add to Steve Nash. I know he's your guy. He's one of my favorite players that I've watched of all time. He's a 2-time MVP. He's an 8-time All-Star. He's a 5-time assist champion. Why do people forget about this guy?
Including me.
He's amazing.
I love Steve Nash.
Yep. Do you feel dumb?
I feel so dumb.
Then it's done its job.
All right. That was Stump Daniel, brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz. Again, thank you so much for that sponsorship.